the city where you can find the keys to the most difficult diseases in the world. It may soon appear in Ukraine. Finances and new technologies are ready to be invested by the Japanese, Germans, Swedes, and even in Kyiv. How Ukraine can become one of the medical centers of the planet, told to our Maria Manushenko, the author of the idea that can perform medical miracles with his own hands. From the capital of Bahrain to Truskavets, the distance is about 3,000 kilometers. This is not the distance for the mother, but Mira wants her son to play football or dive in the Persian Gulf and live like a normal 30-year-old boy from a faraway island. In our country, there are a lot of children with cerebral palsy, but they include only physical therapy, any equipment, any computer simulator or beat treatment. And most importantly, in our country, they don't do such massages for us. Traditional massages and today are not done here. They learn to go again, learn to raise their hands and head according to Kazarkin. This is intensive biomechanical correction of the spine. Children's spine is very important, and this information was almost new for us. And for more than 25 years, we have established that this basis for children is to show that your spine is blocked. Thousands of patients from Austria, Norway, and Czech Republic and Russia are going to unlock their blocks in Ukraine. It's about from 50 countries from all over the world. We were treated in Russia and Kazakhstan, but only here we felt progress. We will be back the second times and we will have as many courses as we need. Half of the patients are foreigners. For the course of treatment, they pay 10 times more than the Ukrainians. Because of the difference, our children are also treated. A quarter of all patients of Kazavkin were treated for free. We don't receive any subsidies from the budget. Behind the professor is a huge clinic, professional team, regular contacts with universities of Stockholm and Munich. He touched to walk, act and live about 20,000 people. His new project is worth it to complete within American Silicon Valley, but medical. This race now belongs not only to us, but to the whole of Europe, because Arabat Strelke is Ukrainian California, but it is full forgotten. Arabat Strelke is very similar to an oasis. It's the longest beach in Europe. They split between the Sea of Azov and Lake Sivash. In the Soviet times, from there the sand was transported to the poultry farm. Soon they built the line of children's camp. Now they are working on the old principle of service and comfort. Many hectares at all without care. Under the Soviet regime, absolutely nothing was given to anyone and they didn't let anyone in. Almost 3 years ago, there was still no road here. This new road was built. What you see? It was impossible to drive there. There was sand everywhere. Unlike this, it can be seen by entrepreneurial scholars. In the project, there is international geometric town of 5 powerful rehabilitation centers of different directions. Our Ukrainian doctors will work here and the scientific developments will be launched side by side with colleagues from Japan, Germany and Kuwait. At least these countries have already given their consent. German's clinic were interested in having their affiliates there. We took samples of medical mud and thermal waters from this land. There is a lot of iodine and nutrients. It's good that the land was not spoiled by industrialists and businessmen. Japanese investors were the first to be interested in this idea. Professor Sakapa was already in Ukraine. UNESCO's visitor from Eastern Europe invited colleagues from academics, businessmen, and representatives of the 3 Japanese ministers. You can see how many are interested and came to our scientific symposium, and Japan at all levels is looking for the opportunities to apply its innovative developments. The ambassador of Ukraine in Japan explained the logic of scientific interest. There is a saturation limit in technology in developed countries. In Japan, this is not no place to do this. There is no Crimea, there are no Arabatской Стрелке, there are no free territories, there is no climatic resource. Therefore, they are looking for opportunities to apply their technologies where it's most optimal. The main purpose of creating such projects is the creation of a university where there would be training specialists in rehabilitation and other areas in medicine. In the project, scientists are interested in international universities, where half-day students would teach a theory and a half-day practice. Entrepreneurs are looking for a way out of Eastern Europe. In addition to hospitals, shopping and entertainment areas will be built in the city. The issue of technology will be raised to the level of government. Solar panels are planned to be installed in the houses of the city and the windmill on the Lake Sivash. On the streets will all drive electric car. In Japan, Ukrainian agreed with several influential manufacturers, doctors, and architects. Our colleagues from Tokyo Reportage work here. Architect Korega, who designed this house, is famous for cosmic ideas, and he is also known for working on large objects. He was also interested in Ukrainian scientists in the scale of his plans. But this prospect of loss in the bureaucratic war with the post-Soviet states is known by investors. From all the fact that the land has already been released for the project. This project is quite large and has government support. This is really interesting. While playing the computer games, Nastya teaches her hand to obey her. These healing games were invented at the Kozyavkin clinic. Here they have developed a system of video surveillance and patients monitoring. There are no analogs in the world. Interior of the hospital, mainly wooden and linen materials. Environmental materials, but these attempts on the way of the information and environment technologies is not enough. At its own expense was equipped a mini pool with thermal water. It was built from a dozen buildings. And although the sand was turned back, for construction it was necessary to fill another half a meter. Today here go all who want to swim in the hot thermal water. New landowners are taking garbage after them into trucks. When the public pool will work, they plan to take from them 5 hryvnias for clean. In the eco-city, as well as in the clinic, people will be taken on favorable terms. There is a real opportunity to rehabilitate not only patients but also the reputation of Ukraine in the world. Applying the theory to practice, scientists require at least 5 years and its worst condition 10 times more, and the least term on the ground allowed them to circumvent their scientific imagination. Maria Makushenko, Dmitry Bolshok, Andriy Sorochenko, 1+1.